Hey, it's Andrzej on software. I have about 10 years of experience in remote work. And before remote work, I have also been like 5 or 6 or 7 years working in office-based environments. And I have some thoughts about the differences now. Um, I'm not against working in the office together. In fact, I was working in one of the most effective programming teams when I was working in the office in London. That was a great team. We've been practicing extreme programming. We've been pairing on the code every day, all the time, and that was a very efficient way of working. But one of the great points about that was that even though it was an office-based environment, there was really no meetings, almost no meetings at all. We did communicate a lot, but it was more like ad hoc communication, and that was very cool. And so the problem with office-based work as programmers, to me, is usually the number of meetings. Actually, I did spend some time also in a corporate environment within huge companies, and the number of meetings you need to attend or it's expected to attend, it's sometimes tremendous. And I know people who have like 5 meetings a week. That's a huge number, I think. But I also know people like managers who, but I'm not talking about managers here, but for managers, it's like 15 meetings a week is still a possible number. So that's like extreme. So the problem with meetings is that they interrupt the programming flow. And programmers, they need those times without any interruptions. And that's in office-based environments is very difficult. It's possible, but it's very difficult. I will talk about how to run effective meetings maybe in some other episode. But for now, I can say that the office-based environments usually most of the time, but not always, so that's a disclaimer, tend to bring a lot of meetings because it's so easy to organize a meeting that every issue become a meeting. Then we now see something that we could call like a remote, I don't know, revolution, probably more like evolution. And there is also this hybrid approach. Some companies allow you to work from home from time to time. And with remote approach, it's much harder to have a meeting. But now the tools are getting better. And the problem with the tools for remote work is actually something that we want to happen. We want to have better tooling for remote communication. But it also brings one problem, that we are getting closer and closer to the office environment once we have better tooling. And I don't like this fact that all those tools, they actually aim, that's the goal, that's by design, they try to make your remote work simulating your office work, including meeting. So now you have Hangouts, and you can go to Hangout whenever you want a meeting, and it's easy. You can type from Slack, you can type /Hangout, and it's super easy to organize a meeting. And then again, I'm not against all the meetings. I'm against those meetings which are, it's not clear what is the goal. It's not clear why everyone is involved, and it's not clear whether someone calculated the cost of everyone time involved. Like if you have 10 people attending a Hangout call, and this is like 1 hour, this is 10 times an hour of some work that could be done. And usually during those meetings with Hangouts, it's usually one person speaking mostly, or 2 people or 3 people, but other are just listening. So this is getting very problematic in that case. And so this is I would say that this is a distinction between remote and async. That remote is still trying to simulate office. This is unexpected to me. When I was advocating for remote work for the last 10 years, I never thought about trying to make it as office-like as possible. I thought this is like something totally different. We should discover the new ways of cooperation. And I think the new way of cooperation is actually async. So async as in you try to reduce the number of sync calls. And sync call is like you actually need to get the people in the same virtual place or real place at the same time. So time is the factor here. It means that everyone is interrupted at the same time. With async, doesn't mean that there are no meetings. Sometimes meetings are perfectly fine and they should exist, but with async, you have more this tendency of trying to have this written conversation, and written is much more async friendly. You can get contributions which are more thoughtful. Usually during those meetings, some people are more extrovertic and they are easy with making decisions or making loud points. I might be this person actually, but it doesn't mean that I don't respect those people who are more quiet and more silent at this moment, because I know they need to have some time, and after a while they will actually bring much better responses to the whole problem. So a meeting which is based around a decision may actually lack the input of the people who actually need some time, and they're perfectly great with given some time. They will come up with great ideas or great arguments or great skepticism or optimism, whatever, but they are great about it, but not exactly during the real-time conversation. And that's, I think, what async is about. Async is basically including all those people who are not so loud during the meetings and who need more focus, more time for analysis, and then they can contribute better. So I think this is, for me, the async way of working is very introverted people friendly. In remote and in office-based, the extroverted people have a much easier life. In async, we are actually enabling those introverted people, very super smart people. Usually, most of the programmers are introverted, who are really great at writing and reading and thinking and focusing, but they might be not the best at speaking and being like very loud in the conversation. And I think that's a much better usage of those people intelligence and those people wisdom, those people experience. So in most cases, I'm definitely for the async approach. Thanks for listening.